Okay, so this is day 4. Now, on day 3, I talked about getting proper sleep, getting enough sleep, and I can tell you on day 4, there's a night and day difference. When you get enough sleep, your mind is working properly, you're much more productive, much more clear. So I would definitely say sleep well if you can. Sleep well. All right? Depending on the person, some people are fine with 5 hours of sleep, some need 7. In my case, I don't know, I slept around 9 to 10 hours. Okay, maybe it might be hard to get 9 to 10 hours every day, but try to get as much sleep as you can. And your body needs to feel well rested on its own. And when you wake up, at least try to wake up without any alarm clocks. Try to go to bed without having to force yourself to go to bed, So sleep well. From this experiment to this the thing I'm doing. Definitely sleep, comparing proper sleep versus trying to do an all-nighter and trying to be as productive as possible, trying to hustle and work as much as possible. Definitely sleeping well and working when you're supposed to work, when you need to work, you're way more productive. Okay? So trust me on this. Now, the other thing today I wanted to mention is give up alcohol, smoking, and pornography. Why? Why am I? Sometimes you might be thinking, oh, it's okay, it's okay to drink once in a while. What's the harm? Alcohol relaxes me, and you could also add weed in there too. Weed and drugs. So, with alcohol, smoking, weed, and drugs, pornography, your mind is built on how much work you do, gratification, reward, whatever. It's okay. So this day, it's all based on your neurological, psychological makeup. Some people might be addicted to alcohol because biologically maybe they have certain tendencies to crave the chemicals in alcohol, and same goes for smoking and weed and pornography and whatnot. So these, if you really think about the pros and the benefits, pros and cons, honestly the cons mostly outweigh the pros. Okay, with alcohol maybe you're more relaxed, maybe more social, you feel as if you can let go. I'm not saying give up 100% just everything, but at least give it up during your work days when you're not resting. When you're working, give up alcohol, smoking, weed, pornography, whatever. Okay, so how your mind works is you need stimulation. You need stimulation to feel like you're achieving something, you're getting something done, to feel happy. Now, what did humans do before there was video games, and you can also add video games and gambling, etc. So before modern day inventions, what do you think people did just to get some satisfaction and happiness? In caveman days, oh, they hunted, communal games, storytelling, and some cultural festivals or whatever, tribal festivals, whatever. Okay, but if you remove your smartphone, if for some reason you were thrown back to Stone Ages, you'll be bored to death. Assuming you have all the food you need, you have the shelter, you have everything you need for survival. You'll be bored to death because you don't have any stimulation, and because a brain is pretty much hyperly stimulated in everyday life. For example, when you wake up during the day at like 7, most people wake up at 7, right? So at 7, your stimulation is already here because you're checking DMs, social media, emails. Maybe you watch a few YouTube videos here and there, blah, blah, blah. So already you're starting at this hyper-stimulated level, right? And then during the day until 9 a.m. maybe kind of goes down a bit. You get some breakfast, and then you head to work, and then you're working a bit, maybe meeting a few people, clients, blah, 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 whatever. And then you get home, okay, around 7 p.m. That's when you check up your social media, maybe you meet some friends, have a few drinks, whatever, la, 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 la. So it's kind of like this. And then before you go to bed, maybe it goes down a bit. So basically, starting off your body with so much stimulation. Why is there so much ADHD in today's day and age? ADHD, OCD, attention deficit disorder, ADD, etc. It's because from a young age, especially kids nowadays, people nowadays have too much stimulation. Okay? Before there was technology, before there was smartphones, before we had the internet, imagine how people lived. You don't even have to imagine. You can just ask one of your grandparents, or if you have an older parent, you can ask them. If you wanted to contact somebody, maybe you gave them a call through the landline. Maybe you knocked on the door. Things were slow. Things were not as hyperly stimulated. If you just go back 50, 60 years ago, people would wake up, get some breakfast, get ready for the day. They don't have to check for emails, calls, and they're not as stressed. They're not running from one place to another. And maybe they'll check up on the neighbors, get to the work, and then at work, maybe, they'll work, maybe chat around the office, gossip a bit, and then go back home. So, back in the days, it was more like you wake up at a very low stimulated level, and then gradually you go up like this, and then they get back home, relax a bit, maybe if they meet friends, it was sort of like this. Whereas now it's you start off straight from this level of stimulation, so this is what's happening. All right, so when you have this much stimulation, you don't feel as productive because you feel like you've done so many things. You feel as though you've accomplished, achieved, or you got a lot of things done, because stimulation equals, you could almost say happiness to a certain degree, happiness or sense of fulfillment. Sense of fulfillment and sense of accomplishment. All right? Sense of accomplishment. So if you feel as though, you saw one of your friends' social media posts, the stories, you kind of messaged them, chatted with them, etc. You feel as though you've accomplished your needs with friendship connections, fulfillment. Or you see someone else's social media post about, they achieved this or made this happen. You feel as if though other people are kind of outshining you. Maybe in some sense, if you make a post about your work and your day, you feel a sense of fulfillment, accomplishment, and happiness because you're stimulated. You're getting all these likes, you're getting all these views, and deep inside you're feeling, hey, I got some reactions from other people, and you won't feel as motivated to do other things, to get other things done. So, which is why I'm saying if you have especially alcohol, smoking, pornography, da 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 da, these are all stimulants. All right. If you have alcohol, most people get a sense of reward. Most people get a sense of high from accomplishing certain things, getting things done, and putting things out there to the world. But with alcohol, what you're doing is you're short wiring, or you're taking a shortcut to a neurological system. Basically, in a natural way, when you want to be happy, when you want to feel productive, accomplished, you got things done. But with alcohol, basically you're telling your brain, hey, I got all the stimulation I need. I feel a sense of accomplishment. I feel happy. So why do I need to work? Why do I need to finish this project? Why do I need to work on this or meet my friend and go out? And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people get into alcohol and get addicted, because they feel good. It makes them feel good. It's a stimulant. I mean, same goes for coffee too. If you have too much coffee and if you're hyperstimulated, you won't be as productive. Right now, I'm not saying be a monk. On certain days when you're meeting some friends, I don't know, on a Saturday night after a month of no drinking, I suppose in such a sense it's okay. But if you're drinking every few days, every Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, if you're drinking 2-3 times per week, then you've kind of messing up your brain and neurological system because you're stimulating it too much. Same goes for smoking. Now, if you've gotten into the habit of smoking, when you get something when it becomes a habit, you don't feel like you can live without it. So, with smoking, with work, let's say you smoke 5 to 7 cigarettes per day. And in order for you to smoke 5 to 7 cigarettes per day, you're spending 5 to 7 minutes each. You have to go out and you have to prepare your cigarettes, especially if you're working in an office. You have to go to the smoking section. 5 to 7 minutes per day, so times that by 5 to 10 cigarettes per day. That's 25 to 50 minutes you're wasting just having a few smoking breaks. Think about that. You could do a lot of things. You could be working out within that 25-50 minutes. So these small things make a difference. And you're also wasting, I don't know, $5 to $10 per pack. So per week you're spending $30 per week, which would be $100 to $200 depending on how much you smoke. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying quitting smoking is easy, but you got to try to replace it with something else because it's a stimulant. It makes you feel accomplished, or makes you feel happy and relaxed, whereas your body wants natural methods and ways to feel relaxed. Instead of that, maybe at least 10 minutes of meditation, 15 minutes of meditation. So you need to replace bad habits You never give up, or you can never destroy, delete habits. Even with hardware, with technology and all this, nothing gets deleted, it gets replaced. When you delete a file, you're not necessarily deleting a file from your computer. Basically, it just stores in a different section of the hard disk. And you're saying, hey, these files can be replaced by something else. That's basically what deleting something is in the computers. Same goes for the brain. Same goes for your habits. You have to replace bad habits. Instead of drinking, instead of going out every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, try something else. When you feel the urge, replace it with something else. When you feel the urge to smoke, replace that urge with something else. Maybe you do a few push-ups instead of smoking, etc. Right? So you replace bad habits. And same with pornography too. Now in my case, I've stopped. It's been about a month or so. And basically you just decide. You decide, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. How is this benefiting me? So as much as people say, like, oh, masturbation, pornography, blah 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 blah, whatever, it's natural, there's no harm done, whatever. But just from my personal experience, I can tell you. Now, I'm not one of those monks who preach no fap, whatever. But just from my experience, I'll tell you that even though I wasn't necessarily addicted to pornography or masturbation or whatever, definitely skewed how I emotionally connected with people, and also natural human connections. And it also decreases your impulses. Well, not impulses, but more like drive, drive to do something. Especially for men. Why do men build all these bridges, all these buildings? Why do men invent all these stuff? In most cases, it's to be productive, to show that, hey, you're someone worthy of praise and accomplishment or whatever. It's a way to attract a partner for a case. In most cases, not all the time, but in most cases, all this money, power, since human evolution history, psychology, it has been to attract a suitable mate. But you are replacing with pornography. So what's the point of accomplishing all these things and getting all these things done and being productive when you could just watch pornography? It's an easy way out. So that's why I'm saying replace this pornography with something else. Whenever you feel the urge, this mostly happens if you live alone. If you live alone with other people. Oh no, if you live alone without other people getting in your own personal space, it's more likely to happen. But in that case, maybe go out for a jog when you feel the urge. Replace those habits. Go out for a jog. Go meet people. Go to some social club, whatever. Because with pornography, let's say you spend, I don't know, some people just want a quick 5 to 10 minute release. But times that by, I don't know, 2-3 times a week, that's like 15 to 30 minutes. Now, some people, they will spend pornography maybe 1 hour, Some people, they will spend 1 hour, even 2 hours, especially if they get addicted. Times that, 2-3 times per week, that's 2 to 6 hours down the drain. And how did it help your life? How has it improved your life? It hasn't. Maybe you even lost money, spent money, sending money to OnlyFans or paying for premium pornography services. Alright, so you have so much time during the day. And the people who tell you, hey, I don't have this much, I don't have time for this, so I don't have time for that, to work out, to do this, da 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 da. Basically, it's just people do not allocate their time properly. And the other thing is, we have a lot of time during the day. It's just we spent maybe, I would argue we spent 3 to 6 hours per day that are dead hours. So what do I mean by dead hours? Traffic, smoking breaks, alcohol, non-productive and non-beneficial activities, smoking, pornography, smoking weed, alcohol, etc. So imagine, instead of wasting these 3 to 6 hours, you spend it on something more productive and also more natural ways to stimulate yourself. Maybe you read a book. Maybe you go work out. Maybe you do some meditation. Maybe you'll create your music. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy. Because if you remove all these stimulants, your body, your mind is going to crave something to do. So imagine trying to sit in a prison cell for 25. Most people wouldn't, like most people who go to prison say that the most excruciating part of prison is the boredom. They don't have anything to do. Maybe they spend 1 hour in the yard and 1 hour getting lunch. So they have the whole 20-something hours to themselves. It's the boredom. So try removing all these distractions, all this stimulants from your life, and see how it goes. And I've already given up. So I've already given. I used to. Last time I had a drink was a week or so ago, and last time I had a smoke was 3-4 days ago. Pornography almost a month ago. And definitely I feel way more productive, to be honest. And with alcohol, you party and you go out, or you smoke weed, especially during like weekdays on Wednesday, Thursday. If you said, I'm just going to have 1 or 2 pints, and the next day just you're not the same. Your body needs time to recuperate and energize. So basically, it's not just like a few hours of activity. You throwing away half a day, trying to get back into the flow. So yeah, I'll let you guys know about how it's going with alcohol and smoking, and kind of like giving that up. I'll be honest about where it's gotten me. So I'll see you guys in day 5.